Hiya, and welcome back to Tennis Ace. The game that teaches us that Keisuke's grandma is a bitch, and I will beat the ever-loving shit out of her. Mom taught me never to hit a woman. But I will body slam her! Anyways, let's just hop right in.
Hey, give her equal lefts and rights.
That's awful. I stayed up all night waiting to hear back from Keisuke after he got home, but he didn't say a word. We were texting all the way until he got home, but the last thing I heard from him was that he was heading inside and would talk to me in a few minutes. Whatever it was that happened must have been pretty serious. Now I'm not only tired, I also can't focus due to being worried about him. He didn't answer the messages I sent him this morning either. I mean, I get that I was just saying good morning and all and stuff, but I still thought he'd answer, hiya. And someone just redeemed go to horny jail. Yeah. Hiya. Last I checked, he didn't even read it. God, so pathetic. What's pathetic? Ah! Having been too absorbed in my own thoughts, I completely failed to remember where I was and what I was doing. Hiya. As soon as a certain tiger walked up to me and spoke up, I screamed so loud that everyone turned to look at me, bewildered. And here comes the snickering. Great! Nice going, Yuuichi! Keep embarrassing yourself in public! Calm down! It's just me! Don't do that ever again! A lot. You missed a lot. Yeah, you missed a lot. What did I do? Sorry, you just surprised me. I would hope so. If this is your new way of greeting people, I don't think we'd be able to remain friends. That's harsh. Is something wrong? You'd usually fire back right away with something else equally as mean. Are you just trying to goad me into sassing you? Why not? It's a lot of fun. You're so weird. Yeah, right, like you have any right to call anyone that. I'm sorry, would you like to repeat what you said just now? I must have heard you wrong. No, I'm good. We're on Keisuke's route. I reach up with my hand, flicking the cat as hard as I can, going right for the tip of his nose, and I feel like pulling it up. I feel like doing the thing. I feel like doing the thing. I reach up with my hand, flicking the cat as hard as I can, going right for the tip of his nose. Yeah! Why would you do that? Huh. That worked a lot better than I had expected. Of course it did! Feline noses are very sensitive, you idiot! Huh. I'm not used to hearing him calling me that. We're speaking in that high-pitched a voice. Hiya. You know what? June was right. This is a lot of fun. Good morning, June. I see you're not late to class for once. What do you mean for once? I'm late to class half the time. You say that as if it were something you should be proud of. Actually, can I ask you something? I kind of need a favor. Oh, sure. What is it? Can you help me out with some of this homework? I spent some time on it last night, but I couldn't figure it out at all. Obviously. Is that all? Sure. Show me what it is you're having trouble with. June and I take advantage of the few free minutes we still have before the bell rings to help him make some progress on his homework. Light skin stare. He has a lot more blind spots than I thought would be possible for a guy his age. There's so much basic stuff I need to go over that I'd completely forgotten about. I tutored him once or twice for 20 minutes at a time, but I think I was so shocked by what I saw that I tossed the memories away in the darkest pits of my mind. I really am going to have to pick up the slack on his tutoring if he has to have any chance of graduating. At least he's pretty studious once you actually get him down on his seat with the books in front of him. A few hours later. Just when I felt like I was getting into a good groove, the bell rings, announcing the start of lunch break. Okay, I'm done being yossified. I'm done yossifying. Done slaying. Slaying is fun.
Yo, mama.
Your mother. Ugh, I'm starting to get satisfaction out of studying. What is happening to me? I don't want to turn into that annoying little Poindexter that I was as a child again. Spare me that! This is all your fault, Keisuke! Before I forget, I want you all to turn in your essays on feudal age poetry by the start of our next class on Thursday. The class utters a bored yes in unison before the stoat that is in charge of our Japanese lit classes walks out of the room, a satisfied smile on her face. Yeesh, I completely forgot about that essay until now. I'm gonna have to work double time on that one. Same here. It's called slaying because I slay both the looks and my throat. You're not wrong. Now that I think about it, Japanese literature isn't exactly your forte, is it? I remember getting a pretty bad grade at it on the last midterm. You got a pretty bad grade at everything. I don't know if that really counts. But yeah, I got a 45 in JP Lit. Can you show me how to do that later?
Yeah.
We're not on June's route, we're on Keisuke's route. And what the fuck, June? I'm impressed. I am genuinely impressed. That's dire. I really need to start seriously tutoring him. I'm starting to understand why he must have had to repeat his senior year. Jeez. I'll try to work out a tutoring schedule so you and I can work on improving your grades. With the way your previous ones went, we're going to be needing to score in the low 90s in all future exams just to be able to get a bare minimum passing grade by the end of the year. Ugh, why does school have to be so strict here? I've never studied anywhere that required more than a 50 for a passing grade. You didn't even manage to score 50 in most of your exams. I know, but exams are like pancakes. Everyone knows the first one is always the dud. That is not how they work. That is not how they work, June. I love you, June. I love you to death, but oh my god, that is not how that works. That is not how it works. Where the hell are you getting this from? How did you even manage to reach your senior year if you're this bad at school? Osu! Oh, June. As is to be expected, as soon as Sai gets here, she makes a bunch of noise to announce her arrival, greeting us enthusiastically like always. Except this time she has an unexpected guest along with her in Yuuichi. Osu! Took you guys a while to get here today. Whoa, Keisuke? What are you doing here, Keisuke-san? Asking myself the same thing. June would be a good comic meme. Wonky Basket, or just Basket. If you ever watch this, can we please get some side content of just June being June? Just like June doing June things. I saw her going to the stairs when I left my classroom. She said she was going to drag Urushihara here so he could start having lunch with us from now on. It seemed fun, so I tagged along. Sai-chan and Shoichi both pulled together a few tables so we can all sit with each other, the same as every other day. Kei-kun, however, stands awkwardly around with his arms crossed, avoiding even making eye contact. Yeah, I've talked about this before. Kei-kun barely spends any time with us during regular school hours since he always has lunch by himself. So I decided that had to stop. From now on, I'm dragging him here to have lunch with us every day. Oh, that sounds like a great idea. No, it doesn't. Please don't encourage her. Aw, come on. You don't have to be so sour over it. Jeez, you're not even answering him? Are you that unhappy about your friends wanting to spend more time with you? No, obviously I'm not unhappy about that. And please don't talk like that. That's just manipulative. What? You know what I'm talking about. You're trying to make it sound like you guys caring about me is what I'm upset about when it obviously isn't the case. No! I don't feel comfortable being in a senior's classroom. I'm not supposed to be here. Are we really having this discussion again? You already ignore a bunch of school rules, yet you're fixating on the one thing that isn't a rule. Oh, you memes, what with June saying some of the most morbid shit ever. Just, oh, June. Basket. Or Wonky Basket, or just Basket. If you're watching this, can we please get that? Just, oh, June. As a response to some of the most morbid shit ever. It's an unspoken rule. I am not going to debate this on you again. We just end up going in circles the whole time. You already know where I stand. Fine. Is everything okay, Keisuke? You were in such a good mood last night. How come you're suddenly so sour? Hey, come on now. There's no need to look like that. Yeah, how about you at least try to be friendly? How about you at least try to mind your own business? How about that? Excuse me? Whatever's going on with you isn't an excuse for talking like that. You're right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have snapped. Damn. Keisuke eventually grabs a chair and takes a seat along with the rest of us, sighing deeply as soon as he does so. Did something happen? You've been moody since we went to pick you up. It's not important. Clearly it is if you're being affected this badly by it. Yeah, what's the matter? You didn't tell me anything either. And should he have told you before any of us? How Yuuichi-kun? Not now! June, my dad got arrested the other day. Yuuichi, isn't he a cop? June, a cardiac arrest! Oh, June. Yuuichi-kun, not now! That was weird. I'm not the only one who thinks so, am I? Look, it's not a big deal. It's just more stupid family stuff. Same thing as always. I'd rather not dwell on it. I prefer keeping that stuff as separate from my personal life as I can, if you don't mind. I guess that's understandable. I'm sorry. It's fine. I'll be fine. It's just a little headache for now. So, trying to get this conversation back on track after I've nearly killed it. But what's up? Ha! What's up? You're really bad at this, aren't you? Shut up. I'm trying my best. That you are. Oh, right. I just remembered. I was wondering if we couldn't all get together this year to go to the Lunar Festival. Sounds like a good idea to me. It's been years since we've gone as a group, and we never did since Urushihara joined. There's him and June to come along with us now. Yes, I'm aware of the festival, though I'm not sure if I'll be able to partake in it. Why not? And why so formal? I was 99% sure I'd be able to dissuade Father from the whole you should man a booth during the festival so you could have a better understanding of the market, logistics, and how to operate a business. But I don't know if I have any ground to stand on with refusing anymore. Yeah, I think you mentioned him wanting you to do that a few months ago. Dude, that sucks. Think of all the free food you'd be able to eat, though! Some people are motivated by more than their stomach. Right! Would work on me. It's not a given that we'd be able to go anyway. The festival is happening soon, but it's a really awkward time of the year for most of us. I wouldn't worry too much, Keisuke. Yuichi-kun is right. The next tournament happens soon, too. I'm surprised your dad is even making you do this when he knows about that. As if he's ever cared about that. Oh, wait. If you're going to be working the stall for the festival, does this mean you're going to be wearing a yukata? What? That's a very sudden change in mood. Ooh, yukatas are really nice. I want to wear one. What is even going on here? I don't know anymore. I bet Keisuke would look really nice in one, too. My condolences, Urushihara. Seems like you just got swallowed by the conversational typhoon that is Saya. It does seem to be the case. Hey, who are you calling a typhoon? What does that even mean? Who cares? The important thing here is that it sounds bad. Is it bad? Not necessarily. It just means Saya tends to sweep people up on her pace with no chance of resistance. Oh, that sounds just like Mizuguchi-san. Oh, come on! Keisuke gives her a friendly pat on the back, putting on a gentle smile. I'm sorry, Mizuguchi-san. We won't mention it if it really bothers you. I guess that's fine. I just feel bad. Am I really that annoying? Who said anything about it being annoying? Saya's Saya. It's not like I'd expect you to act differently, nor do I want you to. Aww! Sho-chan! Sho-chan? You barely even call me that anymore. I have to save it. Otherwise, it won't be special. Is the name that big a deal? Saya used to call us like that all the time when we were children. Sho-chan and Yu-chan. Of course, I grew out my nickname years ago. I really prefer not to be called that. That's his choice, of course. I like it. It's special to me. Only because it's Sai calling me that, though. Kind of similar to how you two love being called Ni-chan by your siblings. Yeah, that's true. Aki has taken to calling me Aniki for the past year now. I hate it. That's a mood. Hitoka just gets on my case nowadays. She no longer calls me Ni-chan either. It breaks my heart. I can't say no what that's like. I'm an only child. Same here. Is it really that big a deal? Of course it is! You have no idea how much it hurts to not be called Ni-chan anymore. Scary! Really are a Brocon and a Syscon. That's not true. Just leave us alone, will ya? So I could ever understand what it feels like. I almost feel bad. Is that weird? Hiya. I wouldn't if I were you. You're just cruel. Not at all. Despite the awkward start, Keisuke's mood slowly begins to improve as we continue to chat. Conversations flows from topic to topic at a rapid-fire pace, quickly leaving the subject of the festival to talk about other things like the tournament that will be happening soon, the next class trip, among others. Yeah. Saya easily monopolizes most conversations just due to how she's the most energetic, with Jun coming to as a close second. Shoichi, Keisuke, and I are happy just to chime in either agreement or denial from time to time. If anything, just watching those two bounce around ideas between each other is already plenty fun enough. It's like watching two hyperactive hamsters playing around. It takes so little to keep them entertained. Of course, if Sai-chan knew what I'm comparing her to in my thoughts, she'd absolutely kick my ass. Not that I'd blame her. A few hours later. Practice today went a lot easier than I thought it would. I'm starting to think that my attempt at being more active in my studies has started bleeding out into other aspects of my life. At least it's getting easier to force myself to do things even when I don't have the motivation. The fact that I'm going to these lengths just because I want to be more like Keikun deeply bothers me, though. It goes without saying, but Keisuke must never know of this. I'd rather die. Why does it have to be so hot? Even with the AC inside the building, I was still melting once I started practicing. I was feeling hot just by watching others doing their work. How did the temperature even go up by almost 30 degrees over a single month? This is the worst summer in years. This should be illegal. I muttered to myself, well aware of how this would look to a random bystander. Mostly, I'm just trying to keep myself entertained while waiting for Keisuke to leave this building. Hiya, and bitching about the weather felt like as good an activity as any. He stayed behind to talk with Coach for a bit, so he'd only just headed to the locker room by the time I was leaving. It shouldn't be too much longer now. About 20 minutes later, Keisuke finally walks out of the building, looking somehow worse for wear than before. And speaking of wear, he's wearing his dress shirt? When did that happen? Kay's grandmother is just basically another Karen. Yeah. Her name isn't Chiyoko. That's too pretty of a name for her. Her new name is Karen. But she has to be unique about it. She believes that she needs to be unique about her name Karen. So, it's a unique spelling of Karen. This is how she probably spells her name. K-E-I-A-R-Y-N-E. This is probably how she spells her name, how she would spell her name if her name were Karen. This is genuinely probably how she'd spell it. Just Karen. It's a weird as hell spelling, but it's unique, and that's probably how she'd spell it if her name was Karen. Speaking of wear, he's wearing his dress shirt? When did that happen? Hey there. Oh. He freezes right away when I call out to him, not even having noticed me before I spoke. I nearly had to rush after him so he wouldn't walk right past him. Karen. Can this wait? I already have the car waiting for me. Whoa, geez, hi to you too. You could at least pretend like you're happy to see me. I am. It's just that. What? Nothing. Never mind. I was about to say something stupid anyway. I just don't have the time right now, and my brain is kind of paced at the moment, so I'd really prefer to talk later. God, Keisuke, you're worrying me a bit now. You barely talk to me over lunch too. You just grunt when I say something, but you'd give everyone else full answers. I don't. Ugh, forget it. I might as well talk about it anyway if you've noticed that much. Just stink. Did something happen that was that bad? She is a bitch. Chiyoko is a bitch. Something happened that was that bad? No, I mean it literally. You really stink right now. I'm sorry. I know some guys are into the smell of sweat, but I'm not one of those. What? It's not like I could do anything about it. You could have showered before leaving like I did. Yeah, you don't feel comfortable doing that here. I know that. I'm just stalling. You're stalling when you've already said you don't even have time? That's a good point. Look, things happened at home yesterday. It was pretty bad. I'm having to reconsider a lot of things. I just can't make time for you today. I wish I could. Believe me, I do. I just can't. You're being really vague about this. You noticed that, huh? What did you expect? Do you think I'm some kind of moron who can't notice something staring him right at the face? Come on, at least give me a bit more credit than that. Didn't you give me a whole hippie speech about not being in a relationship if you ain't willing to be honest with each other and all that crap? Now you're backtracking? First of all, fairly sure I didn't sound or talk like that. Second of all, I knew saying that would eventually come to bite me in the ass. Oh no, the consequences of your own actions. How unexpected. I really don't need the sass right now. Keisuke, you're still stalling. Fuck. Excuse me, what? I must have misheard. Either that or I suddenly find myself in crazy land where nothing ever makes sense. But, did Keisuke just say fuck? Wow, that's rare. I think I've only ever heard you say fuck at most 3 times before. You're misremembering. I'm sure it's more than that. Either way, fine. You want the truth? I can tell you. After you shower. You're the one who said you didn't have time. Ah, okay, fine, I lied. I don't want to go home yet, but I didn't feel up to talking to people, so I was just going to hang around to clear my head. Are you happy? Not particularly. Seriously, what's going on with you? You're starting to freak me out. Are you mad at me or something? No, of course not. What reason would I even have to be mad at you? I'm just mad in general. And call me a hypocrite all you want, but I wanted to shield you from the absolute shit show that my family life is becoming. Becoming? Wasn't it a shit show already? You really don't know a thing about tact, do you? Not that you're wrong. It's just, can we talk at your place and hopefully after you take a shower? Okay, I get it. I'll take a shower if it's so important to you. No, you don't get it. You really don't get it. Why are you complaining so much about it? I have a way better nose than you do, and I think I smell fine. Sure, a bit ripe, but definitely not that bad. Blech, fussy rabbits. Do you promise you'll actually talk to me, not just sulk and deflect? Yes, I'll talk. No point trying to keep my mouth shut. You'll continue to nag me until I crack anyway. Isn't that a lovely way to put it? So romantic. And I'm the one without tact? And you're sure you won't be missed at home or anything? No one's going to show up at my door and, like, accuse me of kidnapping you or something? And now you're just being paranoid. Maybe a little. His family tends to be so incredibly overbearing that I'm not sure I want to risk it. Sometime later. Ah, that feels much better. It takes so long to get my fur fully dried once I've taken a bath. Maybe it's about time for me to get a trim. When was my last one even? I don't remember having one this year. Yikes, that's not good. No wonder I've been feeling so hot lately. Oh, aren't you a little bit too underdressed to be around people? I have pants on, it's fine. Keisuke sat by the edge of my bed, leisurely reading one of the few books I had in my room. A random fantasy novel I had recommended to me by June of all people. A little part of me is still surprised that he enjoys reading of all things. But I wouldn't have the heart to say that to his face. He already got really mad at me the first time when I acted surprised about it. This coming from the guy that freaks out whenever he has to take his clothes off in front of other people. I'm not in front of other people. I'm in front of you. Aw, that is almost sweet. Besides, like I said, the only thing I don't have on is a shirt. I'm fine with at least this much. That's fair. Any progress is good. I guess you could say that. I slowly walk up to the bed, sitting just a little bit away from Keisuke, close enough that our knees would touch, but far enough that nothing else did. It's a safe distance to be at. So, family problems, huh? Yeah, something like that. After a few seconds considering it, I put a hand on top of Keikun's knee, trying to at least seem a bit encouraging, or be a little encouraging. Seem to be a little encouraging? God, this is hard. Before we get into this, though, let the record show that I tried to avoid getting you involved in this whole debacle. The record? Like we're in a trial or something? I know I would if I had my way. What? Is this something that serious? I suppose a little bit of contextualization is required before I get into the nitty-gritty of it. Is this another attempt of yours at stalling? No, I promise it's not. Can I tell my story now? Go right ahead. I had an account that I kept hidden from my family. A bank account, I mean. Since the amount of money my father gave me for my weekly allowances was so absurd and there was no way I could ever spend that much money, I stored most of it. Really? How much money was he giving you anyway? Is this at all important? I'm curious. Really? Hiya. Come on, just give me an estimate. What? Was he giving you a doctor's yearly salary every week or something? Well, not every week. Maybe if you put 2 weeks together. No friggin' way. Are you kidding me? That's an insane amount of money to give a teenager. And he was doing that for years? Every week? Holy shit! Keisuke must have been super loaded. Not on like a brain surgeon level of doctor's salary. More like a general physician, if anything. How is that any better? I mean, it is better, But not by a lot! The hell is he even doing giving a guy your age millions of yen every week? Either way, that's just some background information needed before I can get to the main point. Which is, well, my family found out about it. More specifically, Kuroda, the attendant I had made responsible for everything relating to the account, told them. And he didn't just tell. Since I needed him to sign as the adult responsible for supervising my account, as I was a minor when I opened it, he had full access. He sold me out for a better position with my grandmother's faction, collected information over the years on most of my movements, then took all the money before I could put the account under my sole discretion as an adult and gave it to her. He what? Yes, he betrayed me and defected to my grandmother's faction. Maybe he lost faith in me after he realized I truly had no intention of taking over the company. Heh, I can't believe I didn't see it coming. I mean, all you have to do is think about what future is there for him and others like him. Continue serving a boss that antagonizes the other factions before fully withdrawing? That would leave him completely vulnerable without a backer in the company. Or maybe he planned this from the start and had no intention of aligning with me at all. Either way, I made a mistake trusting him. Now I lost my trump card. I plan on using that money to secure my independence as soon as I turned 18. That way I could move away and be done with the Yuuichi Hard Corporation for good. I had enough saved up that I could live the rest of my life on it. Keisuke, I don't even know what to say. I mean, crap, what can I even say? What does someone say to someone else in this kind of situation? This whole thing is just so absurd. There's no way I can come up with an answer. I'll be fine. Honestly, I was more worried about you. Wait, what? About me? How do I even fit in this story? Kuroda knew about us, and now so does my family. Did he just... Huh? You're not serious. I'm afraid I am. She was very smug when letting me know about it. Worse yet, she talked about how this was a great opportunity to sign you with us. Like our relationship is just some kind of business decision. I can't do that to you, Yuuichi. I don't want you to be taken advantage of all because my life is a mess. What does that even mean? I was considering just maybe that it'd be better if we were to break up. His words, barely louder than a whisper, still echoed inside my ears like some kind of deafening scream. My chest tightened right away. My mouth and throat felt drier than they ever did before. All of a sudden, I swear I could hear the blood flowing loudly through inside my ears. It was almost like being ripped away from my own body for a second, getting hit by a bag of bricks all of a sudden. I didn't even think how hard the possibility could hit me until I realized it was an actual possibility. So did the whole time at lunch when Keisuke was avoiding talking to me much. Was he thinking about that the whole time? Please say you're kidding. You have to be. It's not like I want to! Of course I don't want to, but it is fair for me to only think about what I want. But is it fair for me to only think about what I want? This could have the potential to screw up your life real bad. I don't even want to think about what they could do. They never hurt you, but they wouldn't hesitate to use you for a profit either. It wouldn't be fair to do that to you. Believe me, I tried to think of a dozen different ways to justify it. It just can't be justified. Holy shit. He's actually serious. What's even happening here? Out of everything that could be going on, I never expected this. Is this some kind of cruel prank? It's gotta be, right? Keisuke seemed to be so into me. Why would he say something like that? No. What? No! Hell no! Absolutely not! But Yuuichi! I was actually tearing up. I was genuinely tearing up. Before I even realize what I'm doing, my fist flies through the air, landing squarely on Keisuke's jaw and causing him to fall backwards. He yelps, rubbing his jaw at the exact spot where I hit him, a dribble of blood going out of his mouth. What? What are you doing? Are you out of your mind? Shut up! My outburst must have been so unexpected and out of character that Keisuke merely lies there on the bed, staring at me slack-jawed. I know I shouldn't feel angry at right now. In the back of my mind, I know it was unforgivable for me to hit him. But don't you dare talk about what's best of me as if I weren't involved. That's not your decision to make! You moron! You have no idea what my family's like. You have no idea what they could do. They'd find a way to exploit you and our relationship for sure. Of course I don't want that to happen. You're not the one who gets to decide that, Keisuke. But I am a goddamn adult. I'm your senior. I'm not some kind of goddamn damsel that needs to be protected. Stop trying to make all the decisions yourself. I'm more than capable of deciding for myself what risk I want to take. But that's not fair to you. You shouldn't have to run any risks. And you breaking up with me without leaving me a choice to protest is fair? At those words, Keisuke falls silent. He adjusts himself back on the bed, sitting upright once more, and scooting a bit closer to me. With his eyes still to the floor, he whispers something I am barely able to understand. I just couldn't handle it if you ended up hurt because of me. I know. You're way too kind for your own good. That's part of the reason I like you. Heh, you say that like it's no big deal. Honestly, yeah. I'm just as surprised as you are. We haven't been dating for long, and I never thought I would one day date a man before. Yet here I am, getting pissed off and panicked at the idea of us breaking up. How did this even happen? How's your face, by the way?
Hurts like a bitch, but thanks for asking.
Sorry. I feel something soft being placed on top of my knee. When I look down, I realize that Keisuke slowly slid his hand down, resting it on top of my knee. Without even thinking about it, I put my hand on top of his. To everyone on a scale of 1 to infinity, how do you rate your hate? Infinity squared. The hare immediately turns his hand around, placing his palm turned up and intertwining his fingers with mine, squeezing my hand tightly in his.
It's quite alright. You're probably not the first person to want to punch me in the face, just the first one that actually did it.
It's a good thing Alex wasn't here. I'd be flying across the room right now if he were.
Maybe not. I think after what I said, he might just end up giving that one to you as a freebie.
Keisuke and I share a quick laugh. It is enough to dispel the tense mood completely, but the atmosphere around us brightens up to the point of no longer being suffocating.
Ha, this really sucks.
I can imagine. I reach with my other hand, gently squeezing Keisuke's fingers, pulling on them and playing around with them as I do so. It's not often that I get the chance to play around like this. It's reassuring to know that he's still here.
I think Alex is going to leave me too, you know?
What? No way, the guy loves you like crazy.
There is no good reason for him to stick around. Alex is the rational type. He doesn't make decisions just on feelings like that. If he continued aligning with me, he'd hurt his chances at the company. Maybe even lose his job. No one would be crazy enough to make that choice.
I think you're giving him too little credit here.
He couldn't even look me in the eye after what happened. He quickly said goodnight to me and left back to his apartment.
What? That doesn't sound like him at all.
It's alright. When you live in the kind of environment that I do, it's just to be expected. People use you just as much as you use them. Guess that's what life is like for the uber-rich, corporate types like my family.
That's heartbreaking.
It's been my life for almost as long as I can remember. I'm used to it.
Doesn't mean you have to like it.
I never said that I did.
Keisuke leans against me, touching his shoulder to mine. When he looks down and sees both of our hands locked together, his smile widens just a little bit more.
Sorry, it was insensitive of me to suggest we break up.
Would you have actually followed through with that?
It's hard to say. My head is a total mess right now. I need some way to calm down and clear my mind, but there's no way I'm getting any peace at home, now more than ever.
Then why don't you stay here?
Huh?
Yeah, spend the night.
I hardly think it's appropriate for you to be inviting me like that without even discussing it with your family.
My mom doesn't care. Yuuichi used to stay over all the time and we hardly ever had to ask for permission. She knows Aki and I were forced to grow up and fend for ourselves pretty often since she needed to work to support us. She trusts me.
I guess being a fool runs in the family.
Hey!
I'm joking, of course. Well, not about the part about you being a fool, but you're also really sweet. I appreciate it.
Do you think your family would let you?
That is hard to say. I might as well ask. With how gleeful grandmother was about you and me fostering good relations, she might jump at the opportunity.
Yeesh, I just had a huge chill run all the way down my spine and then some. That's a creepy as hell thing to hear out of your own boyfriend's mouth.
Can I go outside for a bit? I'm sorry, but I'd really rather you and your family don't listen to me on the phone.
It's okay. Gives me a chance to put a shirt on and check if anyone else got home recently.
I think I heard some movement downstairs about half an hour ago, yes.
Great. I'll go dress and then I'll go check. It's probably Aki and I need to make dinner.
Okay, I'll be right back.
He quickly walks out of the room, closing the door gently behind him. I quickly notice that, unlike Aki, Keisuke tends to walk very softly everywhere he goes. I can barely hear the sound of his footsteps when he's nearby. As soon as the door is closed, though, it's like he's not even there. Okay, then. Time to put on a shirt. It's pretty warm still, and I'd rather not, but Aki tends to bitch around if I walk around the house without any clothes. The only place that I'm comfortable not being fully dressed in, and I'm not even allowed to do it. Figures. Still! So, Keisuke was going to break up with me, huh? I feel like I managed to escape a terrible bad end to this by the skin of my teeth. From now on, I'll need to keep a close eye on Keisuke's mood and reactions. Can't risk something like this happening again the very next time something bad happens. And knowing how stubborn he is, I wouldn't doubt it happening for even a second. I'm sure he'd rather push me away than admit he needs help. I can't allow him to suffer alone just because of stupid pride. I absolutely won't let someone so dear to me go through that. So maybe I should cook something Keisuke might like tonight. Even if he doesn't get permission to spend the night, he should at least be able to have dinner with us. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. I think I'm going to make some curry. Heading downstairs, I quickly scan the living room for any signs of other people. I see Aki sitting by the couch with his legs crossed, watching something on his phone. You really are home. Welcome back. Aniki! Yeah, I got home almost an hour ago. Keisuke-san just passed by and said you were coming downstairs. I know. I offered to let him spend the night since things aren't too great at his place right now. He's probably on the phone, checking if he's even allowed to. That sounds pretty bad. It's a good thing you offered then. For sure. And by the way, I'm making curry for dinner tonight. I figure that Keisuke is going to eat with us regardless of whether they let him spend the night or not, so I might as well make something to cheer him up. That's cool with me. I'm fine with curry. Oh, I bought some chocolate on my way home today. Think you could put some in the curry? I was just going to eat a few pieces a day for the rest of the week, but I'd be fine if you used it too. Oh, that sounds like a great idea. Thanks, Aki. No problem. If there's anything I can do to help cheer Keisuke-san, I'm all for it. To help cheer up Keisuke-san, I'm all for it. He's always so nice to me. Wonder how Keisuke would feel knowing that he's so well liked. He'd probably look for a million different reasons to deflect. What are you watching, by the way? Looks like a video? This? I asked a friend to record a match that my rival in the club played. I'm studying it before we have a practice match next week. Really? My, look at you being all serious. Are you mocking me? Not at all. I'm proud. Tell you what, I'll make some extra curry tonight so you can eat your fill. Really? Yay, you're the best. Now I'm the best? What about the other times you called me a pain in the ass just last week? Whatever. I'll take the win while I can. Let's see. It shouldn't take too long to make this. I don't mean to flatter myself, but I'm pretty handy with a knife. Most of the work is going to be chopping the vegetables and dicing the meat. That shouldn't take me too long. Okay, I'll wash the vegetables first and organize everything I need before I get started. Oh, and I'll check on this chocolate Aki told me to use. Ho, it's really good quality chocolate too. I've been to this chocolate store before. They make some great quality artisanal stuff. It's pretty trendy with schoolgirls mostly. Aki usually isn't one to have a sweet tooth. I guess this one is his weakness. And even then, he said it would take him a week to get through this one bar. If it were me, it wouldn't last a single day. Alright, time to get cracking at making a kick-ass curry for Keisuke. Yeah, I guess I'm cooking for my boyfriend, huh? That's actually really nice to think about. While I'm working through peeling and chopping the onions, carrots, ginger, and potatoes, Keisuke finally comes back inside. Noticing me working in the kitchen, he walks up to me, taking a seat by the counter and resting his face on his arms. Tough call?
Not really.
Oh, what happened?
It was easy, surprisingly so.
Really? That's a good thing, right?
Good. My family doesn't do nice things like these just to be nice. I spent the past 5 minutes trying to work out what kind of angle they might have for this.
Is that why you stayed outside for so long? Honestly, I was mostly just pacing back and forth and trying to think of possible reasons they might have. You worry too much.
You're too gullible if you think so.
Maybe they just realize you might need some time to yourself after the tough conversation you had yesterday.
Do you even hear yourself when you speak?
Yes. That's how I know I have the super nice voice that sounds like hot caramel to the ears.
You certainly don't lack in confidence.
I'm fine getting mocked a little bit if that brings a smile to his face. Although I wish he weren't having such a hard time holding back his laughter. You can stand to laugh a little less hard, you know.
So, well, I guess I'm in your care for tonight.
Of course, hell, you could stay for a few days if you want.
I don't think they'd allow that.
You also didn't think they'd allow you to stay for the first night.
That's true. But I still maintain they must have some kind of angle for this. Something I didn't realize they could be exploiting.
Who cares? Just enjoy your night away from home.
Heh, maybe you're right. Sitting around and worrying about endless possible scenarios where things go wrong probably isn't doing any good for my sanity.
That's alright. I tend to have that habit sometimes too.
And maybe we're more compatible than we thought.
I'd rather you not, say that out loud here.
What? I wasn't even particularly loud.
Yeah, but... Still clutching the knife in my hand, I point in the direction of the living room, towards the little Shiba sitting by the couch. I already know about you two, you numbnut. What? You can hear our conversation? every word, especially yours. Your voice like hot caramel tends to boom pretty loudly indoors.
Oh no, that's... Don't laugh. Sorry, I...
Keisuke covers his mouth with his right hand, tapping on the counter with his left, his face getting redder and redder as he continues to laugh. I hope you choke on your laughter.
Don't say things like that. It just makes me laugh more.
It's okay, you can make fun of Aniki. I'll allow it. This doesn't concern you, brat! Be quiet! Then don't talk so loudly in a public space. I wonder if I'd be able to hit him from here if I threw a potato at him. I have good aim, but probably not that good. Either way, my point was just that if you needed to stay a few days, that would be fine too. Why does that have to be so difficult to get to?
I appreciate it. Really, I do.
Hell yeah! The title of Best Boyfriend is in the bag.
By the way, since you're making dinner, can I help?
I don't know. Can you?
You taught me the basics. I can at least do that much.
Sorry, I'm already done with the prep work. I was going to start cooking it now.
Drat.
What? Upset you didn't have a chance to help?
Of course I am. I don't want to just be a burden while I'm staying over.
You're not going to be a burden, you idiot. Besides, you're a guest.
Hmm.
You don't sound convinced at all. Seriously, you're a pain in the ass sometimes. Alright, fine. Since you really want to help, how about you take care of sauteing the onions and meat while I go to the bathroom?
Certainly. I can handle something that simple.
If I get back to this pot burning or covered in salt, I swear I will be furious.
I'm not that inept anymore.
Yeah, right. I'll believe that when I see it. But I do want to pee, so I'll let him handle this. Should just take a couple of minutes anyways. Remember, once the meat starts browning, you lower the flame. Don't let it burn.
I said I'm fine. Go away already.
That's quite a bit of lip from someone who messed up catastrophically last time I asked him for help. Whatever. I'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. If he messes up again, I'll just make him eat it. A few minutes later. When I get back, I immediately smell the pleasant aroma of cooked onions and beef floating through the air. It's enough to make my stomach gurgle lightly on impact. Huh, nothing seems ruined and he didn't set the house on fire. Kudos.
Come on, do you have to be like that? I only ever messed up once.
And that once was enough to leave a big impact, mister. I'm not letting you off the hook so easy. No. I need to have material so I can tease you on occasion. Everything looks to be in order. I can start adding the other ingredients like ginger, veggies, roux. You're pretty knowledgeable about this stuff. I've been taught to cook when I was a child. Been doing it for almost 10 years. I would certainly hope I know what I'm doing.
Yurata also has been cooking since he was a child. Yet he still prepares bioweapons instead of lunch.
Yuuichi is going to kill us one day with his food. Yuuichi is a special case. I don't blame him.
Oh, make no mistake. The blame does not lie solely on him. All of you who constantly refuse to tell him the truth are just as guilty in this.
What? That's not... That's just a really awkward conversation. No one likes being told they suck.
So, in your mind, it's kinder to just let him suck?
Well, jeez, it's getting hot in here.
No one really benefits from it. You guys just created a monster who is constantly told his food is good by everyone. So even when I tell him it isn't, he just goes, "Nuh-uh, everyone else really likes it." It's exhausting.
Damn, Keisuke, do you really have to turn up the heat now of all times? I'm already squirming here. Yeah, guess we messed that up pretty bad, huh?
At least to admit it. If anything, I am glad I'm not the usual target of his experiments.
Oh, that's true. You're not even the one who's forced to try this stuff. You don't get to complain about it. Is what I want to say, but I know he'd tear me a new one if I tried that. I'm not exactly longing to find out what it feels like to get yelled at by Keisuke. I think I'm fine not knowing for the time being. Hey, but right, I almost forgot to add the other ingredients.
Is that so? Careful you don't burn it.
Now you're just getting back at me for earlier.
Absolutely.
Ugh, you're so petty. No one finds that attractive. Stupid smug rabbit that isn't really a rabbit, but it's pretty much the same thing as one.
By the way, and sorry if this comes across as stupid, but what's that chocolate for?
For the curry.
You add chocolate to curry.
Yeah, it's a pretty common thing. Did you not know that?
The only times I've seen curry prepared were when I was a child and my mom would make it. I don't really remember much about what ingredients she used.
Well, I'm using a roux tablet. Those tend to be pretty bitter, so it's normal to add some chocolate to mellow the flavor out and make it more pleasant. Actually, even restaurants do it. Did you really not know?
Do I look like someone who even knows a little bit about cooking?
Point taken. You really don't.
At least it is a normal thing. I was worried I was about to eat some Yurata level cooking there.
What? That's just insulting. There's absolutely no way. I don't lack common sense.
Fair point. Sorry.
Ye of little faith, haven't I already proved to you time and time again that I can cook? And cook damn well, pride aside.
That's some pretty good quality chocolate, though.
Oh, does it even register as good quality to you?
I thought you'd say something like, what is this trash supposed to be? You peasants still call it chocolate? When, in your experience, have I ever sounded like that?
I don't know, there's a first time for everything.
Really? Well, here's another first for you.
My entire body tenses up, a shiver running from the base of my tail to the back of my neck. I jump forward immediately upon feeling something slap me hard on my bottom! What the hell is that?
That's for trying to tease me and calling me a snobby rich guy in the process.
That's not fair! I was prepared for that. You can't just go around slapping people's butts like that. What if I'd knocked something down?
And now for my next trick. Watch me disappear into the living room before you can even try and give me some kind of payback.
Come here, come back here, you fuck!
Sorry, I'm going away now. I'm gone. Bye!
I will have my revenge, just you wait. Preferably when I'm not stuck tending to a pot. Oh shit, I also need to make rice. My revenge gets farther and farther away. Just you wait, Keisuke. I will get you back if it's the last thing I do. A few hours later. That was really, really good. I'm still flopped on the couch trying to digest my meal while Aki and Keisuke talk excitedly about tennis. In the time it took me to finish cooking, Aki took a bath and got changed. Good thing, too. That way he doesn't have to hear Keisuke complaining about how he stinks. For someone who claims to have a bad nose, he certainly is picky with that stuff.
If it were me, I'd focus on attacking his backhand. If you watch closely, you'll notice that he doesn't go for flats or topspin shots when he's forced into using his backhand. I guess he's not confident in, so he uses a slice 90% of the time.
Oh, I noticed that. I noticed he uses slices a lot, but I didn't realize he was avoiding other kinds of shots.
It's not uncommon for younger players to do that. The relative lack of experience means most don't have the training to properly employ shot variety. In his case, this guy seems like he focuses a lot on his forehand, so his backhand is pretty rough.
Like most players.
What?
I said like most tennis players.
Oh shit, you actually did know how to play. You actually
Yeah.
did play tennis.
Yeah. When you were talking about slicing, I was like, jeez, I always hated when people slice.
Okay, well, if you want to give them a lecture on tennis, go ahead and do that. I am getting something to drink. If I find out that you used inappropriate words, I will beat the shit out of you. Like, you're allowed to say fuck and shit and all that. Just don't say anything offensive.
Oh, I won't do that.
Okay.
All right, guys. So first, I'm sure you all know about like basics in tennis from the game itself, right? You got the forehand, backhand, and then they've got different. Hold on a second. What is? Yeah. Hey guys. So you've got forehand, backhand. Then you've got different mechanics like slicing. There was one that I used a lot, which was like punching, because I played more doubles than singles. And then, hey guys, whenever I played doubles, I was always up at the net. Well, not always, because you have to take turns, but I was better when I was up at the net. And I would always punch, because when you punch, it just sends the ball, you know? Oh, he's back. I gotta go.
What were you telling them? Like, I walked into you saying you just punched the ball.
Yeah. So, you take the racket. It's hard to demonstrate without my actual racket.
Hold up,
Here.
let me, I was going to say, use this. Use a hairbrush.
That might be able to work better. So, you hold it like this, right? And you just punch.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about using your bare fist to punch a ball.
I mean, you could try that too, but I think you would get disqualified for that.
And it would probably bust your knuckles.
Not really. Thank you for saying that they're pro tips. I mean, I wasn't ever very good at it, but thank you for boosting my ego.
Not like he needs any more boost to his ego.
Yeah, you got a point.
Fucking otter bottom.
I don't know about that.
Okay, your persona is an otter. At least your persona is a bottom.
Okay.
Oh, what is the update? What is the update? What VN is it? I wonder if that's why he plays so aggressively.
Still, his style is pretty unorthodox. Is pretty orthodox. Tries to start strong with a serve and then force his way into an advantageous position with strong shots. Even when he does mix it up, you can tell he's not as skilled outside of forehand topspin. Also, notice how he always goes for a slice when he faults on the first serve. That is easily exploitable. He's afraid to take risks, so he uses a shot that has a higher likelihood of going on. It's predictable.
Aki nods along to Keisuke's words, taking notes on different strategies and weaknesses he might take advantage of when playing against this kid. You know, it should be considered cheating to get this kind of intricate advice from a player like Keisuke. No matter what, he is always so thorough with this stuff. Actually, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. Doesn't help that Keisuke has been zeroing into me more and more lately. Oh, it's Wayfinder. Okay. I'm having to work my ass off to keep him down when we play, just because the damn bastard can predict most of my plays by now. Still, can't these two talk about anything else? I mean, I get that we're all tennis players, but I'm not the kind that does this. I'm not even part of the conversation as it stands. That was the last video I had of him. Thank you for the help, Keisuke-san.
It was my pleasure. Kick his ass.
I'll try my best. He's already beaten me 3 times before.
And then make sure not to give him a 4th.
Yes, sir!
You sure are a good student.
Yeah, I need to do this kind of thing. I'm not a good enough player to be able to play however I want without caring about my opponent.
Being able to follow your own gameplay as if your opponent isn't there at all is certainly an enviable skill.
The idea. New redeem. Cutie. On the other hand, it makes it so Aniki is no help when I try to ask for advice on this stuff. Hey, that's not fair. You know I'm not an analytical player.
Yeah, I've been changing a little bit on that end. You're being a bit more selective with your shots lately when we practice.
That's only because I have to when I play with you. If I don't, there's a serious risk you might eventually overwhelm me. It's not as if I like doing it. Thinking too much makes my head hurt.
You get upset when people call you an idiot, yet you say things like that.
I can't help it, okay? I'm a person that moves mostly by instinct. Must be nice being an airhead. Those two things aren't even remotely the same. You take that back!
It sure would be nice having such overwhelming talent that you can afford to not even bother trying.
That's not true at all. Don't say things like that. Even I'm trying my hardest in my own way, you know. Oh, Aniki, how about you come and watch my match next week? It'd mean a lot to me if you did.
Huh? What's the sudden change in... Ow!
What do you think, Aniki? Can you come? Pretty please. I don't know. When is this match anyway? I'm out of practice. Aw, but I really wanted you to come. Well, what am I saying? Of course I'll be there. Yay!
What?
Okay, I'll tell you the time tomorrow. We still need to decide on that. I'm gonna head to bed now, though. It's getting kind of late for me. Oh, that's true. It's already past 10. Wouldn't be good for you to stay up that late. The same goes to you. Be careful you don't end up like a zombie tomorrow. I'll be fine. Keisuke and I will go to bed in a bit. Gotcha. Good night, Aniki. Good night, Keisuke-san.
Oh? Yeah, right. Good night, Akiyoshi-kun.
Damn! Hydration. Aki bids us a final goodnight before walking up the stairs, leaving Keisuke and I alone in the living room. Are you okay? You look a bit out of it.
I'm fine. Akiyoshi-kun just elbowed me kind of hard.
Huh? He did? When? Why?
You don't need to worry about it.
No way, that's super rude. After you were being so nice to him too. I should go upstairs and chew him out for...
Ah, it's fine. It wasn't an accident while he was... It was an accident while he was getting up.
Oh, really? Then why don't you leave with that? Jeez, make him get the wrong idea.
You're the one jumping to conclusions.
Of course I would be. You tell me someone elbowed you hard, what else am I supposed to take from that? Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up, like, the sensor. When it happens, when it's about to happen, can someone pull up the horny jail redeem, and we'll go from there. And there's no way I let my own brother get away with hurting a guest like that. Alright, you win this one.
Thank you. Besides, thank you. I like Akiyoshi-kun. I don't want him getting in trouble for my sake.
You two sure seem to get along pretty well.
It is nice talking to a fellow intellectual. Akiyoshi-kun probably gets me on a spiritual level.
Is that so? Sure sounds nice, alright. Why don't you spend the night in his room then?
You're not seriously getting jealous because I get along with your younger brother, do you?
What? Me? No! After all, I'm too much of an idiot to even notice if things are being weird.
What's with this all of a sudden?
It's nothing. You don't need to worry about it.
Yuuichi.
Even though this is your first time spending the night, you were fawning over Aki the whole time.
Huh?
I mean, come on. Even I am going to get a bit jealous if you seem to only give attention to someone else when I'm around. Don't laugh.
I'm sorry. It's just, I never pictured you as the type to get jealous over stuff like that.
Sue me, okay? Even if I am going to get down once in a while if my own boyfriend isn't paying it. Even I am going to get down once in a while if my own boyfriend isn't paying attention to me. After I went through the trouble of making you a nice dinner and everything.
Aw, don't be like that. Of course I appreciate you going that far to make me happy.
Sure.
Here, how about I show you?
Huh? Full Sensor's just disabling the window. Keisuke moves over from the smaller couch where he'd been previously sitting, plopping himself down right next to me. What are you... Sam, I would avoid looking away.
Avoid looking away?
I would avoid looking towards the...
What is...
I'm just gonna... Eye bleach! We need eye bleach. Let me just move this over to here. So I can still look at the eye bleach. Ah! 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 I am going to break the spacebar on my keyboard. Wow, I am very uncomfortable right now. Alright, I'm also turning off the audio. Wow, that made me very uncomfortable. What's so funny?
You're adorable, Yuuichi.
And you're a pervert.
What? I am...
This whole idea was yours. What was it again? Making... Thank you! Alright, I'm gonna keep the Purity Boys up, but I think we're safe. I think we're safe! This whole idea was yours. What was it again? Making it up to me? How cute.
Shush.
Ha! I did it! I found a weak spot that I can probe! You can try to disguise it as much as you want, but you are definitely hoping for something like this to happen. I'm also pulling up the horizontal sensor. Ah! This entire thing is making me very uncomfortable. Ah. You said you wanted to... Keisuke snorts, covering his mouth with his hand as he tries to avoid breaking into laughter. Don't laugh! Ah! We're...
Aw, okay, that's fair. I don't mind it. Do you have a futon I can use, or am I allowed to share the bed?
After all, I don't think sharing the bed is that big a deal.
Oh, wonderful. My thoughts exactly.
I just might have more trouble falling asleep tonight than I thought. Sometime later, Keisuke was the first to head into the bath. I made sure to take his clothes and work on washing them so they could dry overnight while he was at it. Once he finally left the bathroom a good hour later, I headed in myself for more of the same. Bathing twice over the course of just a few hours. What a wonderful way to use my time. It's 1 a.m. now. Barely going to have time to sleep before class.
There you are. You sure took your time.
You're not asleep yet?
Of course not. I'm staying at your place and sleeping in your bed. It'd be rude to go to sleep when you're still awake.
Keisuke's sitting at my desk reading a book that I'm pretty sure isn't mine when I walk in. He looks me up and down, whistling to himself. I feel a sudden urge to put on more clothes. What? So you haven't seen me in just my undies back in the locker room.
I have. You still hide yourself away every time it happens, though, so I've only barely had a chance to glance at you.
Yeah. Ah! Just shut up and go to bed!
Aye, aye, sir.
I turn off the lights, basically tossing myself into bed as fast as I can, just so I can get the embarrassment done and over with. He follows my lead, waiting for me to get in first before he follows suit. Probably waiting to see what side I would pick. Right away, he puts a hand on my waist, making me freeze.
Relax, there's no need to clam up like that. I'm not going to try and cuddle you or anything. I just wanted to wish you a good night.
Oh, right, yeah, that's fine. Keisuke places his forehead on the back of my neck, nuzzling me. It's an oddly relaxing gesture.
Good night, Yuuichi. Thank you for letting me spend the night. You've been wonderful.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you here. Keisuke turns around on the bed, leaving us back to back, both sleeping on our sides. At first, I have a hard time relaxing in this unfamiliar situation. But soon, the lure of sleep is too much to resist, and I drift off to peaceful dreamland. We're gonna leave off here tonight. Anyways, I have to do it over on the browser. Stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.